Okay, right.
Are you rolling?
Okay.
Okay, it's the 21st of February 2015. Chris and I are in Blackheath, to the west of Sydney, about an hour and a half to the west, in the Blue Mountains, and we've just completed a 10-day Vipassana course. So we've just come out of it, and I suppose we'll share our views and opinions and about it. So Vipassana itself actually is an Indian philosophy, and it actually means to observe, and it means to observe self. So the course starts with 3.5 days of intensive breathing, and it's through your nasal passage, and the reason for this is to sharpen your mind, and through just breathing through in and out of your nostrils you can bring down your concentration point to a small pyramid shape between your nostrils and your mouth, and from that position for 3.5 days you can center your mind and bring yourself into a space of complete concentration.
Sharpness,
Yeah.
it's like an arrow, sharpening it, quieting your mind down and sharpening to a point that you can.
Well, the whole purpose is for awareness of self. Vipassana stipulates or states that what the end game is, or the whole point of Vipassana, is to bring yourself out of misery. And they say that, well, Vipassana states that we're in misery because we're either craving something or averting something. So we've got a strong craving for something or an aversion to something, and both those feelings of wanting something or not wanting something create a misery inside us. And to come from a space of pure, what's the word to use? Autonomousness, I suppose. Autonomy. In all dealings, you're not coming from a space of reaction in your life, then you can find inner peace, you can find enlightenment, you can find fulfillment, you can find that beautiful place inside yourself. But through breathing in this way, you become very, very aware of all of your sensory faculties on your body. They want you to have not necessarily a intellectual or an emotional understanding of the art form. They want you to have an experiential experience of Vipassana, and to do this it has to be internal, inside your body, because
I think it's both, bro. Like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, everything. Everything awakens. How I found it or saw it was from breathing into your nostrils for 3 days, 3.5 days, 3.5 days. It's like a key to the soul within, where it took that to quieten down my mind, and it was like chiseling a way to create a key to be able to go within. And after those 3 days, I then had my mind so sharp that I could actually go within and do the Vipassana technique, where we started off breaking down pieces of the body, and you're feeling. So basically, when you get really sharp, you get tingling sensations, hot sensations. Let's roll off a few. Jesus, so many.
Well, the whole point of it is to get sensations.
Yeah.
And these sensations can either be good sensations or bad sensations. And this is the craving and the aversion we spoke of earlier. And you're actually to learn that neither of them, you're to be autonomous with both of them. So what actually happens is, as soon as you have the 3.5 days of breathing through here and basically avoiding the distraction of the exterior, you go to the interior and you get to a space where you are to break down all the elements of your body, and you can feel sensations throughout all aspects of your body entirely. Because Vipassana states, and the truth is, that we are nature, and that nature is us, and that we are subatomic particles just vibrating. That's all we are. And through Vipassana, you can actually get to a state where you can feel your entire body resonating and vibrating, and basically come to a state of feeling the energy force between your body, or inside your body, pulsating through to a place where you can actually not be feel any of your body at all.
I got to that in the third day.
Yeah.
On the third day, it's profound, where I was in pain. My whole body was in pain. I could feel the whole lot, but I could have sat there for the whole day. You know, I was the first. The bell went at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was still dark. We went into the hall. I was the first one in there, and I just sat, and then I just. It was like I was in a place of
Bliss, or
bliss. I was in bliss, where I was feeling the pain, and that pain was also pleasure, and I was just watching it and observing my body and feeling everything, just as though it was an electric. I was just feeling
impulses. That's all
impulses,
we are.
The whole lot.
Yeah, you become the word he uses is you dissolve the actual elements and particles that make up the whole of what you are. So through going internally, you can break it up so that the subatomic particles, you can feel them separating, so that you're not attached to it anymore.
And they come and go, so it is as it is. So we're dying, reborn and dying every moment.
The word he uses is impermanence.
Impermanence.
Yeah. Obviously, what will happen is
changing.
You're having all these feelings on your body. It's a direct indication, an experiential indication of change occurring, and the impermanence of your existence. But the impermanence of all experiences. If you are in pain, for instance, your back might be sore, your knee might be sore, just to observe it, because that pain will pass, and sure enough, the impermanence of it does. But the same sensation for a blissful,
not reacting to it.
Not reacting, the blissful sensation, that the two of them are met with both that autonomy. You're not to react to either of them. You're not to crave the blissful feeling, and you're not to avert the painful feeling. And this is what drives pain in, and the misery that I referred to earlier in people's existences. They're always craving something, or they're trying to avert something because of the pain. So it teaches you to be non-reactive and autonomous in the word isn't autonomy, it's he uses a different word. But anyway,
in essence, what it does is you break down from the conscious mind into the subconscious mind by this method, and by not reacting to those pains, you are hooking into the root of pain and anxiety, all those sorts of things, and knowing that it comes and goes, so that, and you're digging out the roots, so that when you go out into the real world, you can experience things, and well, you'll sense it a lot more, and you can always come back to your breath, and be more aware and more conscious, and then you're living your truth in both the masculine and feminine energy, where they both, where whether you're a male or a female, you have both masculine and female energies in you. The masculine, the feminine is the feelings, intuition. Where the
they
masculine,
didn't speak about this in Vipassana.
No, they didn't. But it's just But the masculine is to get up and go. Let's go do things.
But that, what you were talking about there, with reference to the working on the subliminal and the subconscious levels, that's why there's the 10 days, because he used the analogy of if you were to actually draw a line in some sand at the beach, well then it will wash away when the tide comes in. But he says your subliminal mind and your subconscious mind, so in order to reach the depths of it, or maybe the misery or the pain or the experiences you've had inside that deep place inside you, it takes time to get to it. And in order to carve out new habits, you have to go quite deep into your subconscious. So, and he used the analogy of like chiseling into stone, having a deep-rooted connection with yourself, and internally. A lot of the time when we suppress things and when we put things off, or we're distracted by things, it's all surface level stuff, and we don't realise that ultimately deep down inside there are things that are triggering and we're not aware of them because we're still awakening as a species, human beings. So yeah, the technique is quite the ultimate end goal is liberation, self-liberation,
yeah,
and self-enlightenment, and ultimately love, and happiness.
And the moment, knowing that you need to live in the moment. You know, this is my third time. The first time I didn't complete them. The first time my son had choked on a toy car, on a toy at kindy, so before I went in I got the phone call, so it blew me out. Went. Second time I lasted 7 days because I had a really profound internal emotional experience where I had to go out of the hall and cry and have a release, and then I couldn't continue. I just blew out and I left, but I felt like I needed to finish this thing. You know, it's you know, I had to finish it. So I feel like I'm now I've just come out of the shell. I've just reborn. You know, and it takes it 10 days, and on the third day again, you know, I felt like running. You know, it just a fourth day. That's a fourth day. It felt like just gotta go. Just I can't take this. But you know, it's living in the moment, and that's the lesson I think we all need to learn: is to live in the moment. It will pass. Yeah, if it's painful, it will pass.
The way they describe it in Vipassana is that the future is a projection and the past is a memory, and ultimately all you really have is this now moment.